Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to No Dice, No Glory special edition of On the Road here in...
And we're back.
...your hobby place in Fredericksburg, Virginia. How you doing, Mitchy boy?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I mean, a lot of people were thinking, God, I'm so glad we don't have to talk to those two clowns anymore.
Clown shoes. I've actually been called clown shoes by someone. It's terrifying. Yeah.
So, we're here in Fredericksburg playing in a...
This is a 100-point Team Yankee late warrant. No, I'm kidding. There's no late warrant. Team Yankee, 100-point Team Yankee tournament.
Yes, and we are here at... This is a new store. I've never been here before.
It's a new store. It's your hobby place, which is right on, what is this, Route 30? Route 30.
3.
Route 3. I knew it had a 3 in it. Here on the other side of Route 95 from Fredericksburg, Virginia, downtown.
I like this place.
It's nice. Yeah, they've got a huge area for gaming. They've got, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ample stock on the shelves.
Lots of stock on the shelves, like 14 gaming tables, and then another room with like 5 more gaming tables, all of which are big enough to do 6x4 games. If you live in the central Virginia area, you should come check out your hobby place.
And if you're just down here looking at the two battlefields that are adjacent to us, Chancellorsville and Fredericksburg.
And
the Wilderness.
And the Wilderness.
Come to Virginia, see where they fought the Civil War.
Yeah, most of it.
Most
actually.
of it.
Yeah.
The interesting part.
Yes. I don't know. Grant did some pretty cool stuff out west.
Yeah.
Shiloh.
Minor skirmish.
Okay.
Minor skirmish. It wasn't war-winning.
No.
It wasn't war-winning.
Sure.
Hey, so with us, we
Vicksburg
have
wasn't war-winning?
not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can debate that later.
I mean, they lost Vicksburg in 63, man. And the war
they lost Gettysburg in 63, and they lost the war because of it.
You know what I mean.
I clearly don't.
That Sherman guy didn't do anything?
No, nothing happened in the South
not
ever.
Really. No, he's overrated. So with us, we actually have somebody that, believe it or not, listens. We have a listener with us, and we have Ed.
Hey,
from
everybody.
Maryland. And Ed, tell us about your gaming history.
Well, I've been gaming since I was a kid. Started with Napoleonics back in the 80s. Graduated to all kinds of other stuff in between. Ran into Flames of War when it was first on the internet. Played version 1, version 2, and then had a hiatus on that and did other stuff. And unlike most of your listeners, I am back into Flames of War because of version 4.
Oh, so you like version 4?
Not so much. I'm not going to say that I like it because somebody's going to say compared to what.
And that's what I was going to say.
My point is that it got me back into 15mm World War II gaming.
What brought you back in with version 4? Why were you like, this is what I want to play for 15mm World War II?
It was faster. It was simpler.
Yeah. Yep. And I was having that conversation earlier today as well, that one of the great things about version 4 and one of the great things about Team Yankee is that they're quicker. That you can complete a competitive game in 2.5 hours.
Or if you're playing me, as Sean just was,
so
you
sorry.
can compete a supposedly competitive game in about 45 minutes.
I'm so sorry.
I lost to Chris Jackson in just 15 minutes more than you guys, or 10 minutes more, so it's fine. But, I could say I got my ass kicked, but it's Chris Jackson.
Yeah.
And he'll be joining us in a little bit. So
awesome.
This was put on by one of our writers, Ed Sales.
Ed Sales.
And this is your first Team Yankee tournament.
Yes, it is.
What do you think so far? Now, he's been playing West Germans, so you have to give respect there. But what do you think of the game so far?
Well, I've been enjoying the games. I think everybody's been a lot of fun to be around. There's a lot of smack talk, which is fun.
With these guys.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been fun. The missions are challenging. I'm learning the game at a tournament, which is probably not ideal, but I am learning from some good players.
You say that. My first tournament 4 or 5 years ago was one he threw.
Yes.
Barely knew the guy. Learned to love him later. But I think...
It's a tough love.
It's tough love.
It's a tough love.
I think with this group and most Flames groups, going to a tournament, in my opinion, as a new player, unless you play against a total tool like Chris Jackson.
Like Chris Jackson.
Or Ben Goebel.
We
We have to always beat up.
Yeah, it's what we do.
It's what we do.
Even if he's never going to listen to this podcast.
No, but in truth, I learned a lot from Ben Goebel.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. We want people to come back. And I think teaching the game. Now, there's a guy, David, shows up, didn't have an army, and these guys have so much stuff. They were able to get him an army.
Yeah.
It's learn the game. It's fun.
Yeah, bring the community in, right? Like, because I learned in tournaments, like, I played a bunch of practice games with my friends and then went to Nova Open in 2012, maybe. maybe a little bit earlier than that. And I won like 2 games over the whole weekend, but I learned so much about what I didn't know about the game, right? That it was just.
I agree. I mean, I've played in tournaments before, but the last time I played Flames of War tournament was in 2004.
Wowza. Yeah.
And
Wow.
it was a great learning experience.
Yeah.
I was really enjoying the game back then. It's just I went elsewhere in
Yeah.
between.
Sweet. So you were playing in between, or did you kind of take a break after 2 and played other stuff?
Yeah, I sold off all my.
Okay. What were you playing in
50
between?
Games Workshop's Lord of the Rings games.
That's a great game.
A lot of Napoleonics. I've got an enormous Napoleonic collection in 28 mil.
Oh, wow.
And I was playing all kinds of different games. And then I was one of the people who got sucked into the whole 7 Years' War Imaginations thing. Old school wargaming, in quotes. I'm doing air quotes here.
Okay.
On a recording.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple thousand 28s for 7 Years' War as well.
Wow.
And they're big units. I think one of the battalions top out at 66 figures, and this is 28 mil.
That is a lot of people.
Does that use movement trays? Please tell me it uses movement trays.
The actual rules don't have movement trays, but I use movement trays. Yes.
How do you
Yeah,
move?
how would you even do it?
How would you do that?
Your turn would take all day.
Pick up one of Charles Grant's books. It's amazing what they do. But
It's fun stuff. So, when Team Yankee's been out for a while, and you said you played some demo games, what about it when you first saw it? Did you say, geez, that game's for me, I really want to get into it? Or did we slowly beat you up via mass media to play this game?
well, the demo was fun. I won the demo, so that's always a thing. And then, quite honestly, this is more about getting to know the gamers here in Virginia since I just moved here.
For sure.
Than Team Yankee. This could have been Flames of War. This could have been something else. But you invited me along, and Mitch provided my West Germans. They're not mine. So
I didn't even give him a chance to say, no, I don't want to come.
yeah. So yeah, Team Yankee. I'm enjoying it. But it was more the meeting people than the game itself that brought me here today.
Guys like
Sure.
the man to your left is Chris Jackson. And actually, you guys could just go back and forth with the microphone. So if you hear like some static, it's
We're
Chris
pulling the
Jackson,
microphone out of
'cause
the
he's nagging.
thing, and it's going to
Chris
get passed back
Jackson,
and
who is
forth.
the reigning Masters champion. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Hey, so you drove all the way up here from North Carolina
North Carolina, yeah.
just to
That's
play.
awesome.
Just to play.
Well,
Oh, here we go.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it did.
You're on your way
I
somewhere
only
else.
drove up this morning from Farmville, Virginia, where my I was visiting family and playing with my tank.
You own a tank.
I own a tank.
Tell us about your
Tell us
tank.
about your tank.
I own a 1943 Universal Carrier.
It's not a tank.
What?
It
That's
has
Still
And you're right.
cool.
And it's
it has 0 armor unless you get the up armored Canadian version.
it's a tank team.
It
is
is
a
a
tank
tank
I'll
team.
play this
Yeah.
game with you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Mr. Jackson. If you're nasty. So anyway, it's funny because I think we've all played each other today.
I have not played Chris.
Yeah,
I
you
have
don't
not
want to.
Played you.
Yeah,
I have
so
played literally one other person
So
at this
Ed's
table,
played-
so you are factually incorrect.
Ed's played Sean and I.
Yeah.
I played Chris. Chris played me.
Yeah.
And he played.
Yeah.
And
then-
hopefully I'll play Mitch, and that'll be great.
Yeah, and then you played James Best Senior,
I did play James Best
the
Senior.
best of the best.
Yes, and we tied.
Really?
Yes.
And then how was your second game?
I won
Okay.
quickly.
Well, I played Ed in my first game, and let me tell you, I took out one of his leopard platoons to begin with, and let me ask Ed the question. You have to hand it back to Mike. That's okay. So, did you think right away you lost a Leo 2 platoon of 3 tanks? You're like, this is it.
I
It's
thought the
over
game
with.
was over.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
It held on right till the end.
It was a damn near run thing.
Yeah.
And that was a great game. I had fun, and I was going to let him put the Leos back on, and then I'm thinking, no, he can win this without it.
It was close. It came down to the 2 objectives. I was on yours, you were on mine,
Yeah.
and who was going to kill the figures fastest, and you won.
Because I'm a hack player.
You are a hack.
I am a hack. And then I played Mr. Jackson in my second game, and I bull rushed him, and I did kill a platoon, almost killed another. That was 6-1 defeat. So yeah, I'm in the back of the pack now.
Hooray for big companies.
Yeah.
buddy.
What were you running? Like Ed was running your typical 7 Leo West German Panzer platoon or battalion company. You were running a hybrid mix from Stripes.
I had 2 formations. One is the armored cavalry formation, and then it was reinforced with a airborne air mobile company.
Yeah.
The air mobile was pretty bare bones. It was 2 light platoons, extra M60, extra Dragon, so 8 stands. And then I had the platoon of Sheridans attached. I wanted 2, but I also wanted artillery.
Artillery didn't do much for you.
This game. The first game, they were rocking.
Yeah.
So it's...
Who were you playing in the first game?
Andrew. I don't know his last name.
Andrew.
He's the guy running the Marine Brit.
Oh, the white hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of guys know him a long time. And, here's the thing. Other than David that's here and you, everybody else, you could tell we all kind of know each other.
Yeah.
And, you come in and you see these dudes. And, first of all, if you saw them in the street, you probably would go the other way.
Most of them.
Most of them. But, I
Yeah.
mean, they're good guys. And the game
The facial
community's strong.
tattoos, really.
It's the some of these guys are really but it's your usual. You're Jim Best Sr., you're John
Yeah.
Sulik, Ed Sales,
Yeah.
Bill White.
Bill White. Jim Best Sr., who I played in my first game today.
Yeah, how'd that go?
We murdered each other. He had T-55s, only 3 T-64s, and then all of the BMPs that were ever created in all of time.
Yeah.
And I had my 9 chieftains, my swing fires.
He's crazy.
And we went to time, right? Because I couldn't get through his infantry. He couldn't get through my infantry. And I killed all of his armor. And he killed most of my armor.
Well, and it could be the list I built for you because the typical Mitch Reed list has no air, no artillery.
Yeah, I like it. I actually really like the list. Right, it's 2 platoons of infantry. Although I would spread the Milans out. Right now, there's Milans in only one of the 2 platoons.
Yeah,
I would I would drop the scimitars for more Milans.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad thing.
Yeah,
but
because
I mean,
Milans are way better.
Because you don't want to do that Ben Goebel, a lot of scimitar list.
No, it's good, not good.
So now we got these 2 guys here, and I guess
Yeah.
we'll start with Chris first. But a lot of stuff coming out for Battlefront. We're coming up. The Avanti was just released, and we got Nam coming up, and we have Great War coming. We have Fate of a Nation. We have Armored Fist. But what are you most excited for as far as Battlefront in 2018? Besides winning Masters.
Again,
that was last year. Can't be going back. Got to look forward.
I hear you.
Always looking forward.
I hear you.
The things that are exciting me, and I don't know if it's coming out yet, the next thing that I'm really wanting to see is the Soviets in mid-war.
Everybody's saying that.
But it's not coming out fast enough.
No.
I know.
No.
Of the stuff that you mentioned, I'm really interested in seeing what the Vietnam is. I had painted up a PAVN force, but never found anybody to play with.
I don't know if you listened to our previous podcast on this. You should. Everybody should go to nodicenoGlory.com.
That's www.nodicenoGlory.com, where you just push on the little button at the top of the page that takes you right to the podcasts.
Thank you very much. And I think that's going to be a great game at 50 points. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know people are like, oh, you said that last podcast. Well, not everybody listens to the podcast like Chris Jackson. I think Nam's going to be really cool. I think
it is.
It is a book that is totally complete with everything you want to play that period.
The scenarios sound what make it a game.
Oh my God, the scenarios are so cool. The way victory points are done are cool.
It is. I really want to.
It's cool.
I want to like it.
It's cool.
So
I thought it was cool the first time it came out. Nobody wanted to play it. I have a whole North Vietnamese army.
Well, it's too soon.
It's not too soon.
It's too soon. So, Ed, what are you looking forward out of all these releases? I know you're getting back into it, and maybe this is something that it's got to be interesting now because a lot's changed, and it's almost like, hey,
there's these things called plastic kits.
Yes, plastic. Yeah, I got to tell you, it's now you can run your horde armies again. T-34 plastic is going to be nice, but so you're looking forward for the models. Now, you said you were collecting Avanti, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've got a thing on my phone saying that the UPS man just delivered my box of Avanti 100 miles away from here.
And you know what's funny? Brian Sullivan was just here. He could have hand-delivered that to you.
Yeah.
And saved everybody $8,
Yeah.
$8.75.
But no, I'm looking forward to getting my copy of Nam. I've got my shipping notice on that, so I'm looking forward to that. Eastern Front, I have to admit, doesn't personally thrill me too much, but I am looking forward to what the rest of the Germans are going to be in that book.
Yeah, what did you play before, mostly in this?
I played Americans.
They seem to be popular here in the United States.
I wonder what that is.
I think they're going to stick around.
I think they are. I think they're a thing. I don't play Americans. I'm looking forward to see what the Germans are going to look like in the new book. I think the Germans are going to be exciting. But,
So I'm going to break in here real quick because
I mean, you can.
I am incredibly
Thirsty.
Yeah, but like thirsty, not thirsty. The thing that worries me is that the technology was pretty different on the Eastern Front. A T-30, like, how do you have a world that has T-34s and Crusaders, right?
Well, did you have that before?
Or Panthers and Honey Stewarts? Yeah, but we curated it, and I think that's going to happen again, right? Like, you would have Eastern Front.
So you would not see a mid-war open?
I mean, maybe, but the thing is, it's 55 points for a Tiger in the desert.
Yes.
Right. How much is a Panther going to be?
Well, therein lies a good question.
Right. And so, like, how do you run a Panther company like you could have legitimately on the Eastern Front in 1943 or 44, or like 1943? Well, T-34s are probably going to be like 25 or 30 points a model, right? Compared, if you just look at the scale of stuff.
Yeah.
How are you going to run a bunch of T-34s?
Maybe that's why it's delayed. Maybe the point system's a little bit different because you have to look at mid-war as it is now.
Yep.
And these are all, your best tank is the Mark III German Panzer.
Yeah.
But it's the same conundrum they had in V3, right? Because they never
Yeah.
really did mid-war V3, did they? Really?
They
I mean, because North Africa's lists were really V2.
What was that?
I thought they reissued the book with new point levels at some point.
They
East
did,
Front
and then electronically you can.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting because I don't know how you guys feel, but we used to really like mid-war.
No.
You never did?
No, mid-war was the one it's why I was kind of bummed it's what they were starting with. Because to me, it's the vanilla-ist of the eras. You get all this, I like the crazy-looking stuff. Like, I love an early war, I love the French and the Japanese because I get cool, random stuff. And I love the late war where it's like, I've got, like, my Hellcats and, like, my King Tigers and all my German tanks look like spaceships, and it's cool. Yeah, no, I like the two ends of the war. When nobody knew what was happening, and then everyone really figured out what was happening.
So you're an end guy.
I'm a both ends guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of our listeners ask really good questions. They want to know these things. Chris has a comment.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I'm thinking beginning of the war when all of these countries had their own ideas of what they thought was going to work.
I know, it's so cool.
And then mid-war they figured out, that doesn't work.
And then
keep some of those.
Industry had to catch up.
Yep.
And then the end of the war when they really figured out how lethal stuff could be, and you get all of the really powerful stuff that.
Yeah.
And you know what you look at that too, and you look at since World War II, we've become more industrialized. This is for the college professors out there listening. That's why when you have a Team Yankee, Fate of a Nation, or Knob, between the mid-'60s and the '70s, other than the advent of missiles, that you don't see a lot of big technology changes between. So somebody just asked, and I guess they didn't know, and we'll repeat this, that the Fate of a Nation book will be pointed so you can play against Nam, because I think the reason why Fate of the Nation didn't play is because if you can have a tournament, 12 people showed up, you'd have 11 Israeli players and that one guy playing that 96 T-3485 list, also known as the Dick. And
we call him Mitch in our circles. We call him the Mitch in my gaming circle.
Battlefront's favorite guy.
Yeah, he certainly is. But I mean, it's I think that's what the attraction to Team Yankee is, because where do they go? They can only really go wider by adding more nations. You're not going to see a world beater. And I like other people, and I don't play Americans, was surprised that the M1A1, which would have been in this period, is not in the game. Yet. Or the Bradley or other stuff, too.
Yet.
So, I mean, it's once again, I think Stripes was a boost. they're getting better with this.
I have no internal knowledge of whether or not M1A1s or Bradleys are coming, by the way. I say yet because they will have to do them at some point.
Because they listen to this, and maybe
Yeah.
they'll say, well, we didn't tell those guys. But if we tell them not to say anything, then they're going to know.
Yeah.
That makes it, that would assume that all of us are really smart.
What?
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, I mean, I had fun. This is the first tournament I've played in.
Yeah?
Not game, but tournament I've played in.
Yeah.
Since doubles at Historicon.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where I got called a cheater. Still salty about that.
Well, by
Super
those
salty
hipsters,
about
right?
that. No.
Yeah, there's gaming hipsters.
There are gaming hipsters.
Pocket Watch. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're nice guys.
I'm sure they're lovely
we'll,
human
we'll,
beings.
We'll talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Say, hey, we're the hipsters next time you see us. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited. I think this last round's going to be, God, I hate the last round.
Yeah.
I
Me
hate
too.
it,
I'm
'cause
exhausted.
I'm tired. I want to go. I'd rather go, like, buy something.
yeah.
And,
I bought something, so I'm
What'd you
good.
buy so far?
I bought a book called Dungeon World, which is a role-playing game.
Oh, I thought it was an S&M thing.
It is not an S&M thing.
That is a very unusual-looking rules booklet.
Why is that? There are
'Cause it looks like
looks
a
like a
paperback.
novel.
Yeah, it looks like, I thought it was a novel.
There are this specific publisher. A lot of their books are published to look like this.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Chris plays it, right?
No, I'm just thinking the cover looks like the background of the Obama presidential painting.
Oh, that's
pretty
timely.
green.
That's timely.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, Chris. I'm going to start off with you because kind of know Ed's answer already. You're a junkie gamer like the rest of us.
Correct.
Do you play fantasy stuff?
Not recently. It's been a long time.
What's one game that would surprise the hell out of Sean and I that you play that you like?
Other than grab ass.
That
Or
wouldn't
just
surprise anybody.
I guess that's true.
And we're not surprised, yeah.
No, I don't think I really got anything that would surprise you. Most of the Flames, most of the Battlefront games, Bolt Action. I've played the Star Wars,
X-Wing Armada.
X-Wing,
Yeah, that's a great game.
but that's about it. I don't have anything else. I do have some Civil War stuff, but don't very often get to play that.
The reason why I ask is I told somebody recently I played or liked to play. You know, somebody made me buy the models on their recommendation. Never really played. Is Malifaux, and they go, really? Because that doesn't seem like your type of game. It isn't.
I
but
made
the
him
rules
buy
are
the
tight.
models. By the
Yeah,
way,
and we need to play it.
we should play it.
Now Ed is a little bit more. You do play a lot of fantasy.
A lot of fantasy? No.
More than I do.
More than you,
Yeah,
apparently.
of course.
But I had some old Warhammer stuff. When Warhammer, don't ask me which edition, but whichever one came out around 2000, it caught my attention for a little while, but that's gone. But the Lord of the Rings system, I don't know if you've played it.
It's
but
awesome.
It's
Yes.
heroes are like mincing machines, and you throw a horde of orcs at them, and they go through them just like in the books and the movies. So that's the fantasy game I play right now. But you mentioned it to him. The game that you probably, from what little we've talked about, you'd be surprised is I still have all my DBA armies. I haven't
DBA
played.
is really popular around here.
I know it is, but I haven't played DBA in
Well, now they play Art de la Guerre.
15 or 20 years.
Yeah, Art de la Guerre. And I will get you with Eric, who I'm surprised is not coming in to say hi. Eric Cave, Tarzan,
Yeah.
Lauderback. Yeah.
The retired member of the WWPT.
Well, you know, I asked him
podcast
to
team.
get on a podcast about tournaments, and he said, yeah, and just arranging time.
Sure.
Just like Chris Jackson, he's also a kept man. Why
Yeah.
can't I marry a doctor? Ed and I married social workers, and they top out at like $105K. So yeah, it's rough, but I am going to take a nap, get ready for that last game. We have extra
Yeah, me too.
time. Maybe we'll see if we can play some Secret Hitler. Because we're addicted to Secret Hitler. You played Chris last time. Ed has not played Secret Hitler. And right away, he's like, what's that? And he thought right away, I think he thought that Sean and I, because we all drove down here together, he thought that Sean and I were neo-Nazi racists.
Yeah.
Just like a certain Officer Brubaker of the Ohio State Police.
Wait, wasn't he a great dude? The one who pulled us over in Dayton?
But so it was the week after the Charlottesville riots, and he sees the Virginia tags. Now my face was all messed up because I fell, and he goes, "Where you guys coming from? Virginia? Yeah, where you going?" Like he thought we were coming back because it was the Wednesday after, and gaming. What kind of gaming? It turned out he was a video gamer. I still paid the ticket, so he didn't hook me up. But yeah, I mean, I guess
he was a nice dude.
he was a good dude.
Pulled you over for speeding because you were speeding.
I was speeding. But I don't know. We want to take a break, and maybe we'll get some more guys in these chairs
Yeah, let's take
to
a
make
break.
fun of.
I'm really tired.
Are you?
I could use some caffeine or something.
Okay. Well, hey, we're going to caffeinate up, and we're back. It's on the road. I know people are like, oh, geez, these two bozos again. We're going to change the game to change the name of the thing to Ask Clown Digest.
Yeah.
But we'll be right back.
Bye.
Hey, and we're back.
Are we?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. I know, like, people listened, and we'll probably had some music or, like, a promo.
I'll just hum. into a microphone for 5 seconds.
So here we are with one of our writers from No Dice, No Glory, Ed Sales, who also organizes this tournament. First, let's say thank you, Ed.
Thank
No
you,
problem.
Ed.
And Ed has, what was the last article you wrote? I like your version 4 article. I mean, your version 4 late war article.
Yep.
What-
I got the Stripes. What would that do to the tournament scene that came out, I believe, a week and a half ago?
Yes.
And Avante, which comes out Wednesday, the 23rd, 21st?
Wow.
23rd.
So, I think it's neat that, we're getting new writers. And, we should
Yes.
also say that the reason why our stuff's better written now than ever before is because Troy Hill.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Troy
So I
Hill's
totally
amazing.
want to thank him. But, like, so far, I mean, you're new at this. You having a good time with the NDNG crowd?
Oh, absolutely. And as you mentioned, Troy Hill, he is fantastic. If you want to learn how to write better, Troy Hill is definitely the person.
Troy Hill's the man.
Yeah, I mean, he could just let my article sit there and flounder and just flop. But
No,
he
he's
actually,
good.
He takes time. Hey, this is what you want to work on. If you want me to help you, I can. And I definitely got to give him a lot of props for that. What you read and how good it is because of what he's able to teach me.
So we brought you on really to cover the tournament scene.
Mhm.
So, but, he writes a lot of stuff other than tournaments.
Yeah.
But you've been organizing tournaments now for a couple of years here in the area.
About a year.
Like,
yeah.
what's the most difficult thing in organizing it? I mean, so for folks out there, what are the steps? Getting good with the store, the clubs? How do you do this?
If I say getting good with the clubs and stores is the easiest part because if you're a tournament player, you probably have already visited those stores in the past and have already met the owners. You've already met the clubs. I'd say the hardest part is the financial investment in getting the terrain.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's just I've probably got a couple thousand in terrain, and I probably got a couple thousand more to go. And then the other part is, and I always make this mistake, of not giving myself enough time to set up the tables prior to the tournament.
But you had plenty of help.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and listen, if you're going to set up a tournament and people are wanting to play, they're easy to recruit because if they want to play, they're going to help you set the tables up.
Yep.
One of the things, too, and let's talk about, like, the two types of players people think there are. And I think there's tournament players.
And then Mitch.
And then, three types. And then you have the club players, but really, those are tournament players in themselves. I think,
How so? What do you mean?
well, like here today, right? Like, okay, so we know all these guys. We play tournaments with them. But I think club players will enjoy the tournament scene if the right kind of people are there.
I agree, and I think what we see with the people here today, it's competitive, but it's not competitive where people are arguing rules. We're having beer and pretzels games.
Yes.
Yes.
We're just kicked back, having fun.
Yeah.
And if we win, we lose. It doesn't seem like anybody is really getting that bent over winning or losing today.
No,
That's
it's so
nice to
chill
see.
today. It's great.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
But
is
we've
the
noticed that
chillest
about Team
tournament.
Yankee for quite some
Yeah.
time. It's been chill.
Well, yeah, you know what I think? It's because you lose so many toys so quickly.
Yes.
It's not like Flames of War, especially in version 3, where you're like, I need to hoard my resources and be very careful about how things happen. Stuff is going to die. You're going to pick models up off the table, and
Yeah.
then we're all going to laugh about it.
Yeah, I think it's fun. So you would say to people, really, so if you're out there and you want to run a tournament and your local store has all the terrain, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's really just getting the word out there. How many guys do we have here today?
10. And we had 2 dropped last minute. So
Who dropped last minute? Don't
Bryn,
mention their names. I'm not going to get but I think a lot of it is and I'm going to throw this out there. It's a little controversial. I'm seeing less. So 2-3 years ago, Sean and I went to 17 tournaments in a tournament year.
Yeah.
It's way too much.
Yeah.
But we had a good time. I hardly noticed that we went. Now I'm seeing less tournaments and less players at those tournaments. Why do you think that is?
I don't think that's controversial. I think that's, at least in this area, factual. I think there are less tournaments. I think this is also, may not be a popular opinion across the way from here or up in Maryland, but people had a really hard time adopting to version 4. People had a really hard time making the switch to version 4.
I think it was a perfect storm of a few things. I think the I-95 guys that ran all the tournaments that were your core of 15 or 16 players really got bored of the game well before version 4.
Yeah.
I think they stopped playing. Now, you've been doing this now for a year.
just running tournaments. I've been playing for longer than that.
Sure.
But, I mean, are you seeing folks, like, getting excited for tournaments?
So, again, we talk about 2 different players. You talk about tournament players and club players. I'm
Right.
seeing tournament players getting excited for tournaments, and I'm not seeing, club players getting excited for tournaments. And, we talk about tournaments. We're also going to tournaments to see friends.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
There's a social aspect to this.
Absolutely.
yeah.
there
So, some of those club guys will come out more to say hi to other people and less about playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
but-
like today, we had a guy show up, no Army,
yeah.
Just
And he
gave
got to
him an
play.
arm.
and we hooked
Yeah.
him up. And,
Yep.
I provided I think we're a friendly bunch.
Yeah.
We may not look that way, but I think we are. I mean, it's what can we do to get the club players? Because a lot of people play this game we've never met. How
For
can
sure.
we get them into the store to play a game with some really decent dudes?
I'd say that, one thing we do is just, we always talk about price board, but I guess we never say, hey, this is what the price board is, and everybody's going to get something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, if you think of the tournaments that we run in this area, generally everybody walks away with something in their hands.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true.
So whether it be a terrain piece or, an odd tank or book, everybody's walking away with something. Hey, and you get pizza.
Do you think really prize support would pull people in?
I don't know. What I was actually going to ask is, I've only run a few tournaments in my time, probably 4 maybe tops, and you've been running for the last year. What do you think would bring in new players? Because it is the same people at most tournaments.
Right.
So how do you think we start bringing new blood into that?
Well,
hobby?
as you see today, this is kind of like, as I called it again, beer and pretzel.
Yeah.
So we would have to market the games as less competitive and more friendly. Hey, this is a chance to play 3 friendly people.
Yeah.
You're going to play armies that you aren't used to at your clubs. And that's the reason I got into tournaments.
Yeah.
I played the same people, the same armies week after week, and I wanted to try something different.
Yeah.
And then that got me hooked on tournaments.
I want to bring up something if you guys have noticed too, and I've had club players tell me this, that when you play with a club, all 10 guys, 15 guys interpret the rules the same way. However, you come to a tournament, and that is not the way it's universally interpreted.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the way we play, okay, so we're different because we do play against the Able Company guys, this and that, but in different parts of this country, even the world, the game is played somewhat with people interpreting rules differently. Do you think that's something that stymie players?
I don't think so.
You don't think
Because
that's...
I don't think they know that rules are interpreted differently until they get to the tournament.
And then we turn them off forever.
Yeah. Then we argue with them.
Well, it's like you said, different clubs play the rules differently. They could be right, they could be wrong. You don't know until you both come together, find out that you have different opinions, and you consult the book and NTO rules. But that's also a good chance for a tournament player or for a club player to learn. If you're one of those guys who you keep getting beat by the same guy at the club, go to a tournament in a different area. You're going to learn some new tricks of the trade,
Yeah.
and you're going to be able to use that against
You
your
lose,
club buddies.
You win so much by losing.
Oh, man, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And, here's the thing. You want to pick up this game, you're not going to win all the damn time. And
No.
if you have that one friend that you're beating all the time, it's only so much fun. So, I mean, if
Yeah.
there's something, and if anybody out there, how can we get you that plays at a club or plays at some dude's house
Yep.
to come out to one of these local game stores to play a tournament? How can we get you out here?
Tell
Because-
us. We want to know.
Yeah, hit us
Yeah.
up on the forum.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing here, I come to these things, like I'm excited for Cold Wars to see Glenn and Matt Varnish and, to make fun of other people and see, but, you miss it. Even though I haven't played in a tournament, I still have gone and helped put on
For
events.
sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we can get them out. We need to get some excitement. But I noticed, and I'm not going to point out a particular store, but, Team Yankee came out, and they all got on that 6 mil. We all know what store that is.
I know what store that is.
But the thing is, so what you've now done is you've unplugged yourself from a wider game base, a wider player base by playing this.
I know 2 different stores.
Yeah, there's more than one store,
Yeah.
and it's at 6 mil, this game really to me doesn't work.
It doesn't look good.
Did either of those stores sell 6 mil?
No,
No.
So you weren't going to bring in new players doing that.
right,
Because they couldn't buy the product. They couldn't impulse buy.
right.
And eventually people are going to drop from playing Team Yankee in 6 mil, so you're really limiting yourself to your opponents.
I don't think it's sustainable. Now, what I
No.
see is that you have guys that have 2,000 micro armor tanks, which you say maybe that's a lot, but I have a couple of hundred micro armored.
I have
vehicles.
a couple of hundred micro armor
And
vehicles.
they play with other people's stuff, but your base never grows.
Nope.
No.
And this is a game that's fun and bloody, and at 6 mil, it's all about terrain, and it plays differently. Like I said, we do have a game on 6 mil I like playing, Fistful of Toes.
Oh, really? You do like Fistful of
I
Toes?
do like Fistful of Toes,
Okay.
but it's more of a simulation. Artillery's persistent. Artillery interdicts. The way stuff moves, it's a bigger scale.
Sure.
Mm.
It's a different game, but it's
Is there a second book called A Few Toes More?
no.
Is there a third book called 3 Toes for Sister Sarah?
Yeah, I was just about to say
Yeah.
3 toes for Sister Sarah.
So
But
too
look,
far.
I don't want to have to, become the enforcer on rules here. Play Misty for me, but I think with
That one didn't land.
It didn't land.
Okay.
I think the 6 mil crowd. I think a lot of it was this is a cheaper way of doing it, and I don't think it was a better way of doing it.
It absolutely was not a better way of doing it. In
Right.
fact, I thought it was going to be a better way of doing it. I was one of the people who's like, 6 mil's going to be sweet. And then I played it, and I'm like, this is not sweet.
Yeah,
Nothing makes sense. The scale is wrong.
And people like putting as much stuff as they can on the table. I mean, we all like, hey, let's play like Team Yankee at 6,000 points. Yeah, it sounds good. Is practical? No.
It's not fun. Like, I see these big team games, and I know the guys from Eagle and Empire, they play those big team games, and they did that big going down the highway demo.
I thought that
Oh my
looked
gosh.
sweet.
It did look sweet, but here's my thing about those type of
they
games.
moved pieces of the table.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it becomes, like
Yeah,
I
it's pretty
said,
neat
it becomes
conceit.
tank porn,
It is tank porn.
and it's, you never know if your game-playing decision-making is any good,
yeah.
because all you're doing is pushing stuff forward
Yeah.
12 inches at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. It's not a decision-making game.
Yeah, it's you want to roll dice and really just you could sit in the corner and roll dice by yourself. in
That
my
game
opinion.
went, 10 hours?
Per day.
Yeah.
It was a total of 24 hours of
Yeah.
playing Team Yankee over 2 days and a night.
Yeah, I mean,
They took breaks to go to the bathroom and to sleep, but
No showering, though.
no showering.
you could tell that when you walk by.
Yeah. But I mean, there has to be a way to pull people in, because I think Team Yankee has some of that excitement that us old Flames guys really enjoy. I
Yes.
think now the new hotness is with Team Yankee. So I mean, we're going to scratch our heads. This is a topic I think we're going to revisit.
Well, and one idea that I had, I'm not sure when I would implement it,
Lap
but
dances during games.
that's not that's
Dude.
a good idea.
You want to bring in club players.
I know you got the hookups to arrange that too.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
His sister.
We'll talk about this
Oh,
afterwards.
my sister's such a bitch. But anyway,
But round 1, round 2, round 3, like escalation.
Yeah.
yeah.
So if it's say Team Yankee, 50 points for round 1, 75 points for round 2, 100 points for round 3.
That'd be super cool.
So we ran those 45-point lists at the demo at Fallen.
Yes.
People love those lists. They thought it was fun, and we played it on a 6x4 table, 45 points each. There's room for maneuver. It was a wide open table. Folks really enjoyed that, and I said, but at 100 points, you're pushing around a lot. It was fast. It was like you really get to see what the forces do on a big table.
Was
Yeah.
a good skirmish. game at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another question. Could the 2.5 hour rounds with 3 rounds be something that, hey, I don't want to spend all day
I can tell you this. We were getting ready for round 3. I'm exhausted already.
Yeah, I want to go to bed. I'm tired.
But I think if you do like you do 45 points an hour.
Yep.
I'll go an hour and a half. It takes people. Doesn't matter how big an army is. It takes an hour and a half. It takes half an hour to set up.
Well, if you only got 45 points.
So we did it.
I'm just saying.
We did it even with setting up and playing with people that never played before.
Yeah.
Our longest game was like 40-something minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because
Okay.
it's that quick.
Okay.
Now, we had to break some of the rules, like you didn't have to take 2 mandatory platoons, you know, the 2 block. But you can do that, and I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's a different challenge. I think it's like a new place to use your old toys.
For sure.
Because I'd love to play the Panzertruppen list.
Yeah.
I think we're now talking ourselves into doing a tournament that's going to be
Oh, I have an idea, Ed.
40 to 50 points, hour-long games.
Well, and we're
love it.
gonna talk about it.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it offline, but yeah, I guess we're gonna get ready for round 3.
Ding, 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 ding. Round 3.
Ed, thanks, and
problem.
you guys please read his stuff. It's good,
It's great.
and
Thank you.
email him if you have any ideas other than the lap dances.
Email me for the lap dances.
Yeah, if you guys have any ideas on something that would get you to a tournament,
Lap dances.
let me know.
Lap dances,
Lap dances.
and we'll be back.
Bye. And we're back at the end of the tournament. I am tired.
You know, I'm tired too, and I'm supposed to play John Stulick in the 3rd game,
And you gave up.
So it's like, hey, why don't we just bullshit? And
Like the weakling you are, I
Yeah.
at least got my stuff pushed in
yeah,
all over the place.
we have to keep it below E.
We
So
do.
have little ears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with us is
my folded gap. I can't do it. I'm too tired to say
you
it.
had a prolapse in your folded gap.
I had a prolapse in my
So-
folded gap. That is correct, sir.
So anyway, so one of the guys that we've seen at a million tournaments who plays Team Yankee, Flames of War, came to me and goes, "I always wanted to be in your podcast. You don't let me on." And his name is Bill White, and his hands are huge. You at home can't see this, but it's like he has 2 catcher's mitts.
It's
Well,
impressive.
It
Well,
is.
I can move a 14-stand unit with both hands
Can you?
all at the same time.
All right, we're gonna have to have
I
you
bet
get
you can
close.
play some killer piano with those fingers.
Nope.
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 Okay.
So,
Welp.
so you guys heard in our first segment, we had Ed, who was a brand new player, and in their 3rd game, they drew what was the scenario?
Rear guard.
Rear
Oh,
guard.
yeah, rear
Which,
guard.
as most people that play this game know, it's a BS scenario.
He's
It was-
not super great. No.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey guys, we need you to produce one more scenario, and they really wanted to go home, and that's how rear guard got created.
Yes.
So he played Ed's Panzers in the list,
The Panzers.
and he didn't help his opponent out, who was brand new.
Which is super mean.
It's
But
super
he wasn't
mean.
brand new. He's on game 3. I
Of
provided
his first
a learning.
day
I
of
provided a
gaming.
learning opportunity.
So what are you saying? Wait, I saw you play 2 games before.
One of
So
them-
let me tell you, the training wheels are off.
Yep. Yep. Plus, I played
Wow.
Jim Best right beforehand, so I was a little extra competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Jim
I can see
gets
that.
into it.
And what did I say to you too about, like, who did I accuse you of having as a role model today?
Jim Best.
Junior.
Oh.
Jim Best Jr.
Yeah, we love that guy.
Yeah, I understand you want to win, but it's we're supposed to have fun.
Well, I had fun.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah.
Poor Ed's crying over there.
I see him. Like, I had to give him napkins earlier for
Yeah.
all of the tears.
Yeah.
He said he hasn't cried like this in 30 years.
It's been a long time, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's taken a hiatus from gaming. He's coming back in.
And then you just demolish
now
him.
He's going
Which,
back on hiatus.
To be fair, I also beat him in 45 minutes flat. So
But it was closer.
It, yes.
But you helped him out. You showed him some of the stuff.
Yes.
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 Yes?
I played my normal style,
Maybe?
which is aggressive.
So wait, all 3
I
of
don't
us
remember.
played the new guy. What was your score?
5-2.
Yours?
4-3.
Mine was 4-3.
Yep.
Yeah, look at you. Why?
took-
Because we helped him out.
You just took candy from a baby.
I
He
did.
did. That's horrible.
Well, he did. He spearheaded his leopards up within range of my M60s, and I had the first turn.
But
and we
did
shot
you
them
tell
all
him,
on the
hey, you
side.
don't really need to do that because he was holding the objectives at the beginning of the game?
No, I got excited.
You didn't tell him that.
I didn't. I got
Wait,
really excited.
so he
'cause
was
I had-
defending,
Yes.
and
And then as he starts
you just
spearheading,
let
you say,
him.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Bill's getting
I'm-
mad.
Normally I would, but
Normally.
I got too excited. I had
You're
three.
like,
three
oh my
left-
god, I get to kill leopard twos.
Yep, three
This
of them,
never happens.
all on the side with
Yeah.
M60s.
And this excites you.
Yes, it does. That's
It
why
would
I'm here
they're
today.
really hard to kill.
Yeah, I know.
It would excite me too.
I tell you, those things are damn hard to kill.
Yep.
But he seems to. I don't know if he's going to come back, but
I think he will. I think
Yeah.
he'll come back.
you think
I think so.
he's crying over there?
He is. I see it in his
horrible.
eyes.
Tomorrow
It's
I
a
have
good
turn-
thing he didn't want us to use his last name.
It's the tears of a clown. He's laughing, but inside
is.
he's truly upset.
Tomorrow I have a tournament. I'm playing that one for fun, so I'd be more helpful tomorrow.
Oh
What's
wait,
your
so,
tournament
so in
tomorrow?
other words, today this was not for fun.
This was not. No, when I have to drive 2.5 hours, it's no fun. So
you
So did you win the tournament?
no,
Did you think you were going to win the tournament going into round 3?
no.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, we're just checking. so Bill. So Bill plays Flames of War, Team Yankee. Tell us about your list today.
I had Marine tanks with 9 M60s and a 13-stand infantry platoon, some LAVs, a couple Stingers, some Sergeant Yorks, and then I ran another armor cab formation with 3 IPM-1s, a couple of scout sections, and 3 mortars for my template weapon.
It seems like American players now are going to be playing these split.
These hybrid lists, because that's what I
Yeah.
ran into too.
Well, the armor cab is kind of your cheap IPM-1 delivery formation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like the M60?
It's good.
Is it?
I like it. You either got to hold it back and use your 6+ to hit armor,
Yeah.
or go with it. Just run all out, get in there, and start shooting people in the side like I did to some Leopard 2s today.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to.
So are they a lot like
Hey,
leopard
do me a favor,
ones
man.
in
It's
the way
great
that they
we
play?
can talk about it, but don't gloat.
All right. I'm sorry.
Man's right over there.
I'm trying to ask a serious question.
Sorry.
Do they feel a lot like leopard ones to you in the way that they play?
They do.
Yeah. Yeah. And the IPM ones or the M1 IP whatever.
Yeah.
The new Abrams with the more armor. How do you like them?
Good. You just got to watch your sides with them. You
Yeah.
get somebody on the sides, they're dead. I held them back, kind of like 88s and Flames of War. I kind of put
Yep.
them in the back and snipe.
For sure.
I'll tell you something too. Like when the book still wasn't out yet, Glenn Goddard and I played, and with the AT at 20, I bull rush M1s, and it's because with the better armor and on the Songster better armor on the T-64 with the Songster missile, I can reach out and touch you. You're not going to get a 20 armor against me because you don't get the +1 for gut. I'm not worried about U.S. tanks. It's digging out all that damn infantry,
Yeah.
and especially Marine infantry. Even with the brutal guns that the Soviets have, there's just no if you have 2 objectives and 2 infantry platoon dug in on each,
It is difficult.
it kind of takes a lot away from the game. Sometimes.
If you play that way. See, I'm currently painting Marine infantry so I can run the rifle company with one in transports, one in Hueys for my style, which is, I may keep one back, but one of them is going forward. That's what I did today.
Yeah.
I assaulted, I think, in 2 of my 3 games.
Yeah, and they can assault. So
Yeah.
can the Brits.
Yep.
How did your British infantry do today?
They stood tall. They're
They're
pretty
good.
great. I want more Milans than I had.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I had a whole platoon without Milans in it, and that made me very sad.
Yeah, and I think you're right. The big switch we would make for your list is not to take
Scorpions, which
2
are
platoons
basically
of Scorpions.
No, scimitars. I'm sorry, because scimitars are basically poop.
That's the AT.
10.
Yeah, you want the AT-14.
They're AT-17 firepower 2 Scorpions.
but
Scorpions.
range of 16.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't even matter.
I hear you.
They're so good.
So
I kill
yeah,
things with those.
and taking more Milans, it's
Drop the scimitars.
You have to.
Take more Milans.
Yeah, I mean, there's little. I'm trying to think of how much tinkering you can do now.
More Milans.
Well, I have more Milans, but
I'm
I
just saying
figured
that's
I'd
really
give
what
you,
that. Yeah. That it needs more missile.
Do you know
it
why?
It needs way more cowbell.
Do you know why I gave you the 2 platoons? It was Ben Goebel in the back of my head saying, you need to run because Ben runs 16 of them.
Yes, he does. Because
So,
what he does is he puts his chieftains 4 inches away from you in terrain at the
Yeah.
beginning of the game. But there was really no table where that could happen.
Right.
And I was on defense every game on purpose. From
Tables
looking
were
at
beautiful today.
Yes, some of them were problematic, but beautiful.
But beautiful.
Yes.
I had a good time. I tell you what, I really wish there was more. I mean, it's a good crowd, but
Yes.
it's there's more guys out there.
Well, I think we have 8 guys with Team Yankee Armies down south in Norfolk.
Norfolk's
we have
far for us.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't
but
you plug the name
We
of the
should go
store?
down there.
It's Atlantis, I believe.
Yeah,
Comics and
Atlantis
Games.
Comics and Games over in Norfolk is where our club
Do they have a
plays.
website?
They do. They have a website.
What's it? Obviously,
It is, I believe it's AtlantisComicsandGames.com.
They could just Google it.
Yep.
And they
You
have
can
a
just
Facebook
Google it.
page.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you see their booth at literally every con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're awesome dudes.
They're great. When is the next Team Yankee or Flames War tournament at Atlantis? Do you know?
We're trying to do on May 19th. The
May
store hasn't
19th.
agreed yet, so that's kind of advanced.
May 19th.
Advanced notice, but trying to.
Okay.
I'm trying to get them to do 64 points of
Ooh.
Team Yankee.
That'd be fun.
Yep.
I'll
So-
tell you what, Sean, should we go on the road down there?
We should absolutely go on the road down there.
Yes.
I have a friend who lives in Norfolk. We'll get dinner.
But just for record, it's not official yet. It may be by the time this comes out. But
Well,
I'll-
please make sure you tell us so we can put it on the
Yep,
website.
I'll talk.
Yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow playing Flames of War, so I'll ask.
All right,
Okay.
and if you want to
Sweet.
meet Bill, the Seal Clubber,
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
White.
There's no baby seal he's met that he didn't want to club
I'm
in
not
the
going to
head.
tell you what he looks like, but if you see a guy with abnormally large hands,
And you know what
how
that
do you-
means.
How do you get gloves that to fit?
I was about to say difficult glove shopping.
I
Yeah.
don't wear gloves.
Really?
Yeah.
Those things are huge. Were they always that big?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I mean, they're right at the
I'm a
end
little
of your.
self-conscious now. I didn't realize
You
I
should
had
not
huge
be
hands.
self-conscious.
You should not be self-conscious.
As
of
a
big
fellow
hands.
meaty human being, you should not be
You
self-conscious.
should not be. They're big, manly hands. Look at these things. Look at my hands. I mean,
These hands.
these hands. I should play violin for a living. I have presidential hands. In the words of Chris Jackson.
Yes.
Very good, Chris. But I had a good time today.
I had a good time today. 3 rounds, I think, might be too much for me. Of 100 points in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, but my last one, I'm like, I hope he murders me quickly.
And it was Chris Jackson, so you knew that was going to happen.
It was going to happen, and he's a clean player, and I am not a remember of rules because I get to play once every 3 months.
So, if you guys were listening with the last segment, we talked about different ways we can get people out, fun ideas for tournaments. And what we decided to discuss off mic is doing.
But we're bringing it on mic for you
No,
right
we're,
now.
No, we're bringing it on.
Absolutely.
Is 45 points, 1 hour game.
I love this idea so much.
But you can, with a formation, you don't have to take both black boxes.
Only one compulsory combat platoon.
Yeah, only
and
one.
I feel like you should say nothing with a front armor above 15. But that's just me.
But that limits.
Yeah.
That takes away.
It's West Germans, you're stuck with Leopard 1s.
Yeah, and then you're stuck with M60s, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
they're- Yeah, so you're
T-55s.
T-55s. You're
at 40
stuck with skirmishing tanks, and then there's some.
But there's,
Yeah, and at
then
45
there's no
points,
British.
you-
There's no Americans.
But the British
is-
have like swing fires and stuff, and the Americans have bad things.
They do, but I mean, at 45
They have
points.
M60s.
Yeah, but at 45 points, you're not taking the Leopard 2 list.
Okay.
yeah.
At
I'll have to
45
look-
points, how many chieftains are you going to take?
What are they? 7 points apiece?
Yeah,
I would take a platoon.
yeah, which is fine.
Okay.
I mean, because here's the thing: at 45 points, you can run literally
Literally.
30-something
Literally.
T-55s, but don't be that guy.
Literally.
Literally.
The thing is, if you allow it, it will happen, because there's more than one Ben Goebel in this world.
Yeah, but I think when you limit, and we all know, and Kurt Reese did this in a bunch of tournaments, and I think if you limit the hardware,
You mean playing them and then win?
yeah,
The ones he ran?
the ones who ran.
I love you, Kurt.
I think if you limit, it's okay to limit lists, like fortified lists, which are thankfully gone, sucked. But I think if you limit
There
hardware,
were awesome fortified lists
well,
that
okay.
you could never play, so how would you know if they sucked?
I played against them and I hated them.
Okay, continue your thought.
But I think if you limit individual pieces of hardware,
Yes.
at that point, people build their lists around these sexy pieces of.
You know what I think is sexy?
What's that?
Intelligence. Sorry. No, you know what I think is sexy?
Nice feet.
Recce vehicles. I love recce vehicles. I love all those small little dudes, dude. They're what I love about the game more than
So
anything else.
if you're going to do all recce
Scimitar,
vehicles,
swing fires, freaking.
but you see, you have that option. A German player Was it going to play Luke's?
Luke's, Jaguars, Martyrs, Geppards.
We're going to. Yeah, also with 45 points, no air, no artillery.
I think that's great. Yeah.
It's all
I think there's a
front
ton of
skirmish
choice.
forces.
Yeah, and then, of course, your Martyrs with your infantry, and then they have a lot of toys that aren't Leopard 1s and Leopard 2s.
I think so.
You poo.
But I wouldn't limit it. I think the 45 points limit
I mean,
enough as it
I think
is.
you're right. You probably don't limit it. I am skeptical that you won't see somebody with 28 gajillion T-55s, though.
Yeah, but they die quick.
They do die quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I do enjoy blowing up T-55s.
Yeah, T-55s.
It's incredibly satisfying.
And it's not like they can kill
Mr.
very
Best
much.
the Elder.
It's not like they can kill
Yeah,
very much.
with that
but-
AT-17.
But yeah, I'm excited about playing this game more. As everybody knows, we will be hosting Team Yankee Nationals at Historicon in Lancaster, PA, sometime in July,
Wait, Historicon is in July. Yes, okay.
and it is in Lancaster this year.
Ham Baster.
Hopefully the AC works.
Well, we'll be staying at a different hotel.
Yeah, but we have to play in those hot halls.
Ass. Halls.
I figure it'll either be like the winter tournaments where it's either really cold or really hot.
Yeah, much like my dating life.
Dear HMGS,
Well, the other
Why?
one too is, let's be honest,
love
Historicon,
the No Dice, No Glory team.
the Historicon in that big room became a human hotbox. A human
I'll give you a human hotbox.
hotbox. It was very hot.
That actually means something, you know.
Yeah,
You've just given us a mature rating.
I'm tired
we
and I
lost
really
it.
want to
Okay.
go eat.
It actually doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't really.
I'm
mean
just
that.
making that up.
It's not like
A Cleveland steamer,
I was just about to say that.
a rusty trombone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my son's playing the trombone, and I keep saying, if you don't take care of this thing, it's
You
going to
should
get
just
rusty.
call him a rusty all the time.
Yeah. It's right because he's 11, and I can say things that I totally know he doesn't get,
Yes, it's beautiful.
and he thinks it's funny.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
What does
kind of
that
good
mean,
stuff.
Dad?
Right.
It means you have to oil your trombone or it gets rusty.
Because
Everybody
you don't,
knows
you
that.
don't want to get a rusty trombone.
You need to oil your trombone at least once a week.
That's right.
Everyone knows that.
I remember when I was.
I think I've made up a new euphemism.
What's that?
Oil your trombone.
That's a good one. That'd be a good
Right?
T-shirt.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's a new euphemism.
So,
I'll allow it.
So many years ago, I was in a mall in New Jersey with my brother, and where they have you could put your own design on a hat. So I
Yes.
put a steam engine on it,
Yes.
and it said on it the Cleveland Steamers, and they had it up on the screen, and people are walking by laughing.
Because they had no idea.
Yeah, I gave that hat away. I don't know why I did that, but it was hilarious.
I wish you had given that hat to me as a lover of all things Cleveland related.
Okay.
I actually.
So you're asking me for a Cleveland
So
Steamer?
here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
When I worked in the D.C. office for my job,
Yeah.
I had a giant whiteboard. It was like 6
Why
foot
does it have
wide.
to be white?
Because that's how you write with different colors on it, because white is the absence of all colors, so it takes color, but black is all colors together, which makes it more all-encompassing and awesome.
All
If
right.
you notice,
Why
I
is
always
it-
wear black. Anyways, the story is
Yeah.
ass, but that Cleveland Steamer postcard stuck up in the corner of that thing for like 3 years, and no one ever noticed it.
Nobody got it.
No one ever got it the whole time.
So I remember, we're getting off gaming here, but
We're getting off gaming, but this
we
is why
left
you
gaming
come
a
to
while
us.
ago.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen,
people
this is why
people
you
do listen
come
to this.
to On the Road, is to listen to the banter and the gaming, and we're
I-
giving you some of that banter
I can't
now.
tell you how many hookers and blow for
Whoa.
Westmoreland comments I've gotten because of Tom Mullane. So Tom Mullane said that when we did the Nam podcast, what his uncle did during Vietnam. And I
Yes.
said, so he was the hookers and blow
You know
guy.
there's a young child right behind us.
I'm saying hookers and blow.
Yes.
It's fine.
I'm normally the one who gets yelled at for foul language, and I have been keeping it clean.
All right, I'm sorry. So he was the prostitute and cocaine guy. Is that better?
I don't think that helps.
The
I
how,
mean-
how about the remunerative adult entertainment and snowy enjoyment?
No,
guy.
There's a lot there because it could be sugar.
Snowy nasal enjoyment.
Nose candy.
Happy nose candy. There we go.
Nose candy. It's like that anyway. So long time since we had a tournament, and
It's been a long day.
it has been a long day.
But it's no, this is all going to it.
So we're gonna go. out.
We'll just edit this out. No,
No, we're not.
no.
People do like this.
Yeah, it's weird.
So
I don't
we're gonna
understand
go
why.
get German food,
Yeah.
and I think we should end on a story of when we went there during
Oh, my God.
Historicon 2 years ago.
Back in the day.
So, has anybody seen the movie
The Blues Brothers.
When
yes.
you sit down at the table.
This is my story, and he's telling it.
Well,
I don't even get to have my own story.
I think it's better.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying.
No,
so,
say it.
So
Say
no S. There we were, at the Bavarian Chef.
The Bavarian Chef.
We had just had an incredibly large meal with who?
It was Jeff. Nope.
Yes.
It was Cato.
Yes.
It was you and I.
Yes, and one.
It was two dudes I've never seen before, but
or
I've seen it.
since.
No, but they say hi to me all the time,
Oh,
and I
good.
don't remember
Yeah.
their names.
So there were like 6 of us, right? And if you've never been to the Bavarian Chef, it is essentially a giant family-style German restaurant.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
In which they give you huge sides which to eat and enjoy yourself. You need to make a little
God, am
extra
I hungry.
Lebensraum in your lederhosen after you eat all that Wiener Schnitzel. I just have to tell you that, and it's really, really worth it. I got to work that into the podcast, and I'm so happy. Anyways, after we're done, I was super stuffed, and I really wanted some coffee. And I was wondering if anyone else wanted coffee. And I think Mitch wanted coffee, and somebody else wanted coffee as well. And so I ordered 3 coffees, and then I went orange whip, orange whip, orange whip, 3 orange whips to the waitress, who
Now
apparently...
explain Orange Whip, because some people don't know what that's from.
At the end of the Blues Brothers,
John Candy.
John Candy is sitting up in a balcony with 2 state troopers, and he orders orange whips, which is... There are 2 versions of the orange whip, it turns out. One is an alcoholic beverage, and one is a non-alcoholic beverage. I actually did research on this after this night because I've never had an orange whip before. And
I
by
didn't
the
even
way,
know it was a real thing.
It is a real thing, and they're not that great. But with the coffee, we also got served 3 orange whips. This is a thing I've been saying since I was like 15.
Yeah,
whenever
she
I wanted
brought
coffee,
3 orange whips
and
to the
she
table.
literally brought 3 orange whips to the table, and I went, what is this? And she's like, you ordered 3 orange whips. I'm like, oh.
Well, and I don't know if we should put this part
Okay.
in, but we didn't realize that they were alcoholic, and one of the guys had his son there, and we gave it to him
Oh, yeah.
because we didn't know there was booze in it.
Had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, now the kid is like just out of rehab.
Yeah, it's pretty great, actually.
So
We're really
yeah.
proud of the work
And
he's
how
done over
much
the last
were
2
the
years.
3 orange whips? It was like $40.
Dude, it was like $40.
Yeah.
They weren't even good, and it was like $40. Essentially what they are, by the way, is a orange alcoholic slushy
Yes, that's
with
good.
vodka.
That's good for kids.
That's good for not kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go there.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully
Bill,
right now.
Bill, you're more than welcome. I'm sure there's like maybe some people in wheelchairs you can beat up on.
yeah.
So
Some small children
look
whose
at Bill
lollipops
White.
you can
and
take.
if you meet Bill White, he's like the nicest guy.
He's super nice. You've
Like,
been sitting here just
you just
listening
want
to
give
us
him
the
a
whole
hug.
time.
You just want to
Yeah.
give him a hug.
High
but
five.
now,
High five, Bill.
oh wait,
High five.
you can lose your hand in there. So anyway, I had a good time. I guess
a great time.
We're gonna head back up.
We are. Thoughts on Team Yankee on the way out the door?
You know, here's my thing. I like the game.
Yes.
I like the way it's growing. Damn, these American lists are hard. And I think more people are going to
Yes.
be playing them. I think people are going to be playing them with 2 formations in them. I think that's
Yeah.
you get too much of combined good things there.
Yes.
I have to look at my allied list especially
Yeah.
and look to see what from Team Yankee Americans I may bring into my force.
Yeah.
Well, you get 2 lists that are really cheap. Either the LAV list or the Humvee list. For like 10 or 16 points, you add a whole ton of vehicles, too. So
Yeah, which is crazy. And you have a target-rich environment. And on top of that, you have really great helicopters. You have relatively decent air.
So
And then you're air mobile.
I think the British could benefit from. I think the British are good to go. I think the Germans, with their lack of infantry, would benefit
would
from
absolutely
a Marine.
benefit. Yeah.
Because you have to take a whole formation.
Yes.
yeah, but
How much is a Marine formation?
You could get out of Marine formation for 21 points for Marine infantry just to command in the 2 infantry platoons.
Which is all you need.
Two pretty big units, and that's
Yeah,
all you need.
it's
How
just
much
your
anti-tank missilage do they have?
You get 2 Dragons and 2 SMAs, so you're good from 8 inches out with the Dragons, 8 inches to 28, and then you're good from 16 inches in with the SMAs.
That's pretty great.
For light armored stuff.
Yeah.
SMAs are 17 for AT, and Dragons
Yeah.
are 18 for AT.
And the benefit of German infantry is the Milan's integral to their platoons. You don't have to pay extra for them.
Yes.
And the good thing about the British is the close-in Carl Gustavs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good option. Maybe
Yeah.
some M60s just because
They're nice and quick.
they're
and
nice, and throwing them in with the thing is you have to get at the minimum of like 30 points, I believe, of M60s.
I don't know. I don't remember. But what this really says, to wrap this up, is that Americans have come a long way over the last 2 years since Team Yankee
without
launched.
a doubt.
I think when Team Yankee first came out, I thought Americans were pretty lacking, actually. I didn't think they were super great.
And you can say the same about the Russians.
I thought the Russians had the definite advantage out of the first 2 books.
Okay.
And then when you got when you got Def Leppard or whatever it's called, and then you got Iron Maiden,
right,
you really saw some increase in quality. And now I think the Soviets are on the back foot. I think the Warsaw Pact armies are a little bit more on the back foot in terms of balance.
I would say Red Thunder.
Yeah.
I think Red Thunder is a huge buff. I think the T-64.
But I don't think the T-55 gets you anything.
Well, the T-55 it's the German. And it's only on the German list, but the T-64 with the missile.
No, it's pretty great.
Yeah, I think the Soviets needed the love. I think Red Thunder provided that.
Yeah.
And there's not much more you can really. I can't see where they would go next with that.
North Korea and South Korea. That's where they can go next with that. I'm just saying, Battlefront, if you want to look for something North Korea and South Korea in 1984 would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty
sweet.
And,
you know, we don't know what's coming out next for Team Yankee.
Australians.
In this year.
Centurions.
Like, I know they're going to have the Minor Forces book.
They're going to have a Minor Forces book? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's no hype on it. We don't know anything about it.
No, we don't. Yeah, just rumor.
But,
just a bit outside.
I think we should look at Bill, what do you think of a 45-point list? And what do you think of Team Yankee so far?
I actually like Team Yankee now more than I like Flames of War. I got into playing Flames of War, and I held out for about a year after Team Yankee came out to see, and it got pretty popular pretty quick. So I really enjoy it. For 45 points, it'd be interesting. It'd be definitely challenging to build a list. I'd probably go with like Armored Cabs with M60.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's legit.
But yeah, I think that would be interesting 1 hour round, so you still got to move.
Yeah, you still got to play the game. Yeah, I like it. But I think with that...
No, it's 45 points, 1 hour, but it's on the same old 6x4 table.
Yeah, it's on a 6x4 table.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating. And today has been great fun.
It has been.
Yes.
So, you want to take us out?
Yes. Remember, everyone, to go visit www.nodicenoGlory.com and click on the little podcast button to hear all of the great No Dice, No Glory content, and click on that little forum button right there on the top and go join the forums where you can continue the conversation.
About anything dealing with any game you
any
play.
Game.
Or the size of Bill White's hands.
Or the size of Bill White's hands. And with that, we're going to take it back on the road. Thanks so much for listening tonight. Remember, you can find all the best in historical wargaming and tabletop coverage at our website, www.nodicenoGlory.com. And don't forget to keep the conversation going on our No Dice, No Glory forums. Just click the little button at the top of the website and it'll take you to where the action is. Have a great game and a great night.